Welcome back to the LEC Semifinals as Mad Lions were able to find the victory against Fnatic to get one step closer to the reverse sweep. They're going to need two more back-to-back if they want to bring it home. A single win for Fnatic will, of course, end the series as we hot drop into picks and bans. Still Drakos, Caedrel, and Dagda. Rumble now taking out the board. Fnatic for the first time in this series on the blue side. This could pose for a giant shift.
Yeah, I'm curious to see exactly how it's going to swap it up. I mean, Rumble already gone. Ivern, do we get rid of the Maokai? Like, these were things that we've already started to see creep up as pretty damn strong picks in this series. Tristana, though, has been a mainstay for Mad Lions.
Yeah, I think Tristana is a must ban. LeBlanc going to come out from Fnatic as well, which has been a staple ban up against Nisqy. I feel like Azir prio has definitely risen up, looking at these last few games. Zaya also up there. The Rell, Maokai, Sejuani, Ivern trade, you know, the square of junglers, as you might call them, the four junglers, which I feel like, you know, if Rell's open, it probably is the strongest one, but Ivern can creep past if Rell's banned away. We saw Fnatic on red side ban Rell and Ivern and opt into Karthus for Maokai. I'm not sure if, you know, Razork did have one bad game in one of their series, I can't remember what it was, on Karthus, but then the next game he really popped off.
It was the first game he played in the same series last week.
Yeah. So he's probably not scared to run it back, but you're on match point, you know, so something simple could work. There's the Maokai ban.
Maokai banned away. Importantly, Renekton still up and available, a champion that has hit the bench for the vast majority of this series. Wunder obviously could go for it as a relatively safe blind pick. It's a champion that he was able to find a lot of success on versus BDS, despite kind of difficult expectations for him coming into that series.
I think it's just a question of do you prioritize it over the Rell, and I don't think you do, yeah. I mean, they're immediately going to take it. The chances are you'll see the Renekton picked up here, coming through for Chasy. And then the question is, like, do we get things like the Azir immediately coming through? Do you try and go for something like the Sejuani for yourself in the jungle? And also just the Jace or these as well, which has kind of been creeping back and forth, but we'll see exactly what the game plan is.
I love Hyilissang on Alistar. I love it. I don't want him on Braum anymore. I don't want this count to pick the Nautilus. I think Alistar on 3. Azir take away, yeah, maybe pick the Sejuani or take away the Renekton here could work, because I think Fnatic might happily pick up Renekton on 2-3. I also think this Rell should go over to Razork. I think that they should take it away from Trymbi. I think Rell, Nautilus can work really well. But yeah, we'll see. I think Alistar stable pick, Renekton's up for Wunder, which is an easy play. And I think jungle pool could be pretty easy. Poppy's open as well. Sejuani. Yeah, I mean, just blind the Alistar, just give it to Hilly. Who cares? You know, you're on match point, but so what? He's so good at it.
I think then, kind of following your logic though, I think you do give the Rell to Razork here. You take the Braum into that bot side for Trymbi and just go, hey look, we're going to try and match that, and then just go for straight up front to back.
I think the way the series is going, I would just go Nautilus, you know, like the Braum negates the Alistar, yes, but the Rell Nautilus, just keep fighting, keep all-inning. You know, they could also go Sejuani here, I mean, if they want to put the Rell support.
Certainly
yeah, there's
an
the Renekton.
Renekton has been banned this series, so not surprising to see it prioritized here. The Rell remains a flex pick. We'll see if they want to confirm another top or another jungler or support.
If Fnatic want to go full skirmish, they could go something like, Xerath into Azir. Wow, I didn't expect that from Humanoid.
I mean, we saw it yesterday in the KC series, and we saw it in the
Fnatic won.
Season Finals.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've seen it before as well. I want to say Humanoid's played it maybe.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
I remember he was fed, but they lost.
Yeah.
It was against SK.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, it is actually a good answer is you kind of get to range these here. You can cover a lot of those bot side plays as well, because you can ult from the mid lane down, so trying to find a lot of those early skirmishes then to go your way, and we're certainly going to see it because we're getting the run back here for Mad Lions.
I like the Xerath, but there's been 3 games now with 40 kills. Xerath can't keep up with over a kill a minute. He needs to slow things down, and like he needs to play poke, he needs to set up objectives, he needs time to scale. So I like the pick of Xerath into Azir, but Fnatic needs to be very conscious of what decision and what route they're going down with this draft. You need to be very careful not to get sucked into the chaos.
I think they probably end up running back something very similar, right? You go for the Ezreal, you're like, cool, now we got double poke that we can try and play for. You got a fairly strong front line. And then it's just a question of, like, do we get Razork going back towards something like the card this year, and you stick the Rell bot, or do you end up taking something a bit different? What
if they ban Ezreal here, Mad Lions?
Yeah.
You have to opt into Zaya, and then you're playing against Kalista, Alistar. Your Rell can't really go bot lane, and I feel like then they're forced into. They can ban Braum or Ezreal here, I feel like. And then Fnatic have a few options. They're going to ban away the Zaya, so the Ezreal's open. Ezreal Braum is like the safe, let's be fine. The aggressive side is like, just go Aphelios Nautilus, put the Rell jungle, and then try and keep up. But it's definitely a game here where Mad Lions have huge pressure in bot side. And if Sejuani isn't banned away here, then I think that's an easy pickup for Elyoya.
And I respect that both Elyoya and Chasy are willing to sacrifice their picks to allow 3 players who really did kind of perform in the previous game, you know, especially at the bottom lane, to secure their comfort. That's far.
No, a fun stat. Elyoya has 5 Sejuani games in summer. Most played. He hasn't won a single one.
Ooh,
He's lost every single game.
that's tragic.
Do you really pull it out?
Especially because I think he probably's going to play.
Yeah, it is tragic, isn't it?
All right, we're getting some cheeky
Chasy
hovers.
Quinn into Ren. Ooh. No.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Quinn is always a bit risky because you have to know exactly how to try and play at that style of competition, and I don't think it's one that Mad Lions are particularly comfortable to play, especially in the position that they're in. So we'll have to see. Is there going to be the call, or did they end up going for something a little bit different here on the opposite side? Still got a bit of poke with the Zeri, but honestly, I just think Ezreal just fits really well.
I think it's Ezreal, Braum, or Helios North, you know. I don't think there's any other option unless you really want to go Zeri, Braum, but it doesn't really make sense too much with your comp.
Zeri Braum also hard to proc the passive reliably in lane. Limits a lot of 2v2 power.
Like maybe Zeri Nautilus is what they go for, you know? Mix and match.
Yeah. I will say that in this game we saw Humanoid when Chasy played the Cassante previously, when he was able to bust out the Talia, able to essentially just 1v1 with ease the Cassante. I don't think Xerath is going to have the same luxury. Doesn't have the same tools to disrupt the Cassante. This could be very tough if Chasy is able to find the angles. But here's a pick that we haven't gotten to see Trymbi play yet this series. Doesn't want to go for the Rakan here. I can understand why, but we'll just opt for the safe pick. No, there it is.
Oh, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I think you end up giving a ton of control over to the bot side where they can look for those engages. You've got the ultimate as well from the Alistar, which can then basically nullify a lot of what you want to go for. So overall, I think Mad Lions, again, coming out with a very, very strong draft. And now it's just a case of what you want to round it out within the jungle. It is going to be Sejuani, it looks like. But it could work, yeah.
I think Xerath, Zeri. Are
No,
we going to get Elyoya Bel'Veth?
What?
Oh my god.
This man has not been allowed to play a carry for so long, and here, in a do-or-die match, it's his turn to try something out.
Think back to Worlds last year. It was Elyoya in play-ins playing Bel'Veth that ended up, it was banned against him against EG. I think it was all 3 games just taken away, and he was carrying them against Saigon Buffaloes with the Bel'Veth. Now we haven't seen him play it for a year. We've seen Yike play it, but not many people around the world have busted it out. It's one of Elyoya's, even though he's got only a couple games on it in his career, one of his best champions, I feel like.
And again, Mad Lions just continue to make bold bet after bold bet, but it paid off in the previous game. Why not go for one more here? Fnatic, their composition's a bit scattered. They've got stronger lanes than they did in the previous game, most certainly, but it doesn't feel like it has a unified identity in terms of what it wants to accomplish.
It's called Renekton, Rell, Rakan. That is skirmish central, right? And then you've got Zeri, who wants peel and ramp up time, and Xerath, who wants range. So there's not a lot of full commit that can follow up with these engagers. And Bel'Veth's really happy playing against those 3 mini champs. Like, she's going to murder anyone that walks into her. I think the biggest question we asked ourselves is, when's Mad Lions mid jungle going to play carry junglers? When is Elyoya going to put himself back on carries and no more engaged tanks? Our answer is here on match point.
Ton of pressure on the side of Mad Lions. Fnatic still had the cleaner games in the series thus far. We now get into game 4, Mad Lions versus Fnatic. Here we are. After the first 2 games, it was hard to imagine a world where Mad Lions could bring it back and take us to a game 4, but some immaculate individual performances bringing us here in Fnatic. And question marks in the draft phase. A lot of champions who want to go forward and a couple who really don't. We'll see if they can make it work this time around. It's not like Mad or above draft criticism either. We'll have to take a look at how this unfolds.
I think a huge amount of this is again going to be a case of, hey, well, kind of reversing what we saw in the last couple of games was, can Elyoya get into the face of Razork, start to be the one that's farming up, stealing away camps and playing off the pressure that you should have coming through from your bot and mid lane with the push. Humanoid would eventually be able to clear out these waves and one-shot them, but certainly in the early stages, Nisqy should have a decent amount of control.
For now, poking into the enemy jungle, just trying to get a little bit of
Trymbi's on a ward.
They know Trymbi's there, but he's playing the Oscar pretty well. Knockup comes in, forcing a flash out from Hilly. For now, it's a very positive trade for the side of Fnatic, but the early heal means at least summoner spells have been traded.
Elyoya needs to take the Raptors here. He needs to stick around. He doesn't have any Q stacks though. Should come up soon, but Mad Lions need these Raptors. Is the game going to come down to this camp? Is everything going to be decided here?
Bet it all.
Mad Lions maybe back away. This is so risky. They're kind of pincered in. They've reset the camp. Elyoya is going to go towards his, I expect, wolves perhaps, and then just let the full clear happen. They tried the level 1, traded flash for heal. Not the end of the world, but they don't want to put Elyoya on the back foot. If he loses those Raptors and gets chased by a level 2 Rell, that's where Bel'Veth is weak. If you just match and just say, I'll go to wolves, you're on an even game state, and you do not want to give that level 2 advantage and get chased down by the Rell when you're playing this farming jungler.
Have to see now what Razork is going to try and do in response. Well, basically, we have to keep up with the Bel'Veth thanks to a little bit of an early start that he has, thanks to Elyoya need to make his way back into his own jungle, but I don't think the game... Oh, hang on.
Knockback coming through, but Hyilissang still knocked up in the meantime.
Is there a bot dive potential for Razork, you think? Do you think he could do Crux into bots? It's risky, but they can stack a wave. No flash on Alistar. Yoya's clearing up.
Level 2 on Alistar's here, though. I mean, it's tough, maybe.
I think it's too risky. I mean, even with the engage, Alistar's so good, as you can see there, with like if Trymbi tries to go in, you get the headbutt. Razork tries to go in, you got the pulverize. Yeah. Like, it becomes very, very difficult to try and land that combo, but mid lane could definitely be an option.
Razork stepping in. Whoa. Flash in, immediate stun. The Chain CC is flawless, trying to get Nisqy out of lane. For now, he's still standing. The dash out to safety, though. And ultimately walking away empty-handed. Nisqy holds onto his flash as well. It's just going to be the TP they force out.
Was flashy, was good. Landed a lot of CC, but no damage. He's going to find Elyoya here, maybe. Nah, can't get the big Raptor away. Puts a ward on his red, so he's going to try and track the jungler of Mad Lions. But he has a lot of top push here for Razork that he can work with. Maybe call Wunder in. Humanoid needs to TP back still, though. But it's interesting that Elyoya sacked his camps. What's the bot wave situation right now? If we could... Oh, it's a stacking wave. Elyoya said, take my red buff. I'm going to go bot and look for a dive here. Can Mad Lions crash? This is everything. He's losing his top camps. He knows that the Rell's up there. He's gambling on a bot dive to get himself ahead. Mad needs to crash this. Humanoid not going to be in a state to TP. They see Razork top. Can they pull this off? No heal on Noah. Fnatic sense that something's up here.
Ward of the wall is too late.
They have to pull this off. This is a big risk for Mad Lions.
Elyoya walking in.
If this backfires, this is over.
Going to kick things off the immediate knock of all, but Trymbi manages to knock up 2. Noah's still standing for 1. Hyilissang going to give his life. It's an absolute disaster, but Elyoya fires back. Trymbi now trying to chase down the kill. The minion's doing so much work. Elyoya's getting cut down. The ward not quite in the rush.
Whoa, Carzzy!
Going out, and Carzzy.
Can he get QE? Oh, Carzzy!
No!
It's a disaster. The bot dive backfires. He doesn't lose his red, but Elyoya really... He put everything into this. He all-in'd.
Nisqy's in trouble now too. Razork on the way down. This is not the way you want to see the series end. Mad Lions could not afford to fumble there.
It is a massive mistake for Mad Lions. The fact that you end up giving across so many of those kills. The slight silver lining is that Noah missed out on that massive wave. He did end up going down in the end, but we'll see it here. The knock-up from Trymbi was massive. Gets Hilly, gets Elyoya, prevents the escape from Hyilissang, and then also the shots coming through from Elyoya. Carzzy as well ends up getting creep blocked a little bit here, so can't step away, and then ends up tanking 2 tower shots, which means at this stage he has to try and follow up, but can't get the last auto attack.
I wonder if we can get a sped up replay of Razork in that fight, just chasing Nisqy across the whole map. I'll hold it for now though. We've got another fight. No, interrupted!
Coming in, looking to rinse and repeat on the bottom side. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Mad Lions continue to be bold in this series, making up for the fumble on the first attempt.
Yeah, that really comes as a bit of a reward, luckily getting that interrupt. But look at the CS deficit in mid. Nisqy TP'd. He lost so many creeps, and Humanoid still has TP advantage. That was because Razork chased him around the whole map while they were diving bots, so that's a big swing for mid lane. Not only is it experience, but it's also the CS differential, as Mad have a bot freeze. Razork's around here to try to break it. You can see Yoya needs to clear up towards the top side.
Yoya wildly behind the camps, but still 200 gold ahead, courtesy of the kills that he was able to pick up. Still only level 3, so does need to do some due diligence, pick up the camps. The freeze going to buy a bit of attention for Mad on the bottom side, but they have to be careful not to overextend here.
Yeah, need to be really careful. Really no flash. Can be vulnerable.
This is where Elyoya, though, is can get in onto this top side, just trade that pressure. Might even get a play on towards Wunder. Wunder's gone in hyper aggressive in that top lane.
Wunder now face to face with Chasy. Chasy unstoppable. Q3 coming back, pulling him just a little bit further under the tower. Wunder needs to walk away from this one. Chasy still has a blinking health bar here. Elyoya's going to find the knockup.
Wunder needs to survive
this. In here. Banquet now coming out, trying to keep this one going, but Wunder manages to flash and double dash out to safety.
Still has the flash as well. Not sure if he used that, but exchange on the bot side.
Let's see if it's a HUD. Keep an eye on that Wunder flash cooldown as we go through.
Yeah, he has it. I'm looking in game now. So he just got the K'Sante flash, but also the Bel'Veth is really far behind in camps. it's really coming back to bite them. Elyoya lost so much from this bot dive.
Hyilissang had to pulled in, but there's not really a lot to be had here. Noah's still poking back. Hyilissang getting lower and lower. They just want to crash this wave into the tower.
What level is the Bel'Veth right now? Is Elyoya got to level 5? This is... I can see maybe his red buff's up. We can look for that. But anyway, we're on bot side right now. See if they can... Yeah, 31 CS, 2 kills is nice. He's level 5, so gold influx, but he needs to start getting some experience. Going to take a reset here to match base timer with Nisqy. Nice CS lead on the bot side for Carzzy, but Fnatic should be able to crash this with jungle being bot side.
Yeah, you can see the HUD updating here. You got level 5 on Elyoya, so it's not as desperate as it was looking, but it's still not great, as with we're already highlighting the CS not being in a great position. And the mid CS is abysmal for Nisqy right now. Mad Lions, they need to find some sort of success, but when your mid jungle's this far behind, that's the whole core of the map.
And the thing is, you have this strong point on the map right now in terms of the Kalista matchup on the bottom side. It looks good, but it's not going to matter a lot if there's so many free resources up and available from the side of Fnatic to stop you from further cementing your advantage. Wunder right now building small advantages on the top side, held onto that flash crucially as he avoided that gank, so just isn't under threat.
Yeah, Wunder surviving on the weak side. The bot dive, we've gone over it a few times. It screwed bot lane, but it screwed Nisqy. He had to run across the whole map, lost TP, lost about 2 waves for it. So his experience has been in the gutter. You can see he's a full level down, so Mad Lions need to recover that.
And that's the problem. It becomes so difficult for you to try and play off this bot side unless... I mean, Trymbi actually should be able to just dash away here.
Waiting. Now has to dash back to safety. Guardian proc coming through. Xerath ultimate. Gonna get a bit more poke down onto Carzzy right of the arcane. Forcing out Carzzy's ultimate as well is big for the fights to come. Hilly playing with fire here. Instantly they're gonna re-engage. Knockup comes through. Hilly greedy.
And points in case of what I was about to say, if you have this strong bot lane, you can't play around it. You can't try and go for some sort of play in the bot lane because you'll always lose out if you end up in the 3v3 because Elyoya is behind. You can't try and go for a dragon because you're wasting time of Nisqy and Elyoya who need to be farming to get back into this game.
Yeah.
And now it's Fnatic who are punishing that fact, leaning into that bot lane and using perfectly that right of the arcane from Humanoid.
This game is so odd. Everyone's in their own world. Nisqy's trying to recover. Yoya's running around the map trying to find camps. Bot lane really wants to fight 2v2, but they can't because Razork's hovering there. Top laners are just both on an island, and now Elyoya says, you know what? It's Herald time. Bel'Veth getting the Herald would be ideal.
Walking up, knockup comes through, but he's just going to cast the Dominus. Elyoya has to be very careful. This Renekton hurts. One dash, flash out to safety. Wunder does the flash.
1v3.
Flash in. Wunder finds the kill. Asante going out, looking for the isolation. And now Razork comes over the wall, just trying to finish the kill onto Nisqy. The Shattering Strike will do it. Humanoid over the wall, raining down hell onto Hyilissang. Hyilissang desperate to keep the fight going, but here comes Trymbi looking for redemption after game 3. He's there just in the nick of time.
No one lost that wave of pop, but Trymbi sure as hell didn't. Level 6 versus the level 5 of Hilly. Gets in with the charm, sets it up beautifully, and Fnatic punished the only window Mad had to make some sort of cross map.
Oh, the Bel'Veth is struggling in these fights. The Renekton is loving these skirmishes. Wunder just goes in blind. No vision, knows they're on Herald. His team's still not there yet. 1 versus 3, just walks in and basically solo kills Elyoya. Not only does he solo kill Elyoya, but he forces Nisqy over the wall to peel and almost kills him too. And then by the time he almost kills Nisqy, Razork's there. So the amount of time Wunder just bought for his team just won them that topside fight.
Even getting that Q off onto Nisqy as he came over the wall alongside Elyoya gives him such a big heal. And Trymbi flashing forward, gets the charm, gets the knockup, and Humanoid's position is perfect there. He just has to sit over the wall, gets a stun onto Alistar, throws in an LQ every so often, and Wunder, you see he's looking happy after that one.
That damn smile. That damn smile. Mad Lions, not out of this yet, but at a massive gold deficit. Getting the objective is going to feel good. Elyoya empowered briefly here on the Bel'Veth, but pretty far behind. Even Shroud already coming through from Razork is going to be devastating if they're able to find and pick out these individual targets from the side of Mad Lions.
Is it round 2 for the bot dive?
Round 3.
7 or 8 minutes later, just go again. Double down, see if we can win it this time around.
It's round 2, baby. Round 2 fight. Noah sidestep quick, trying to flash out to safety. Immediate knock-up chain, and he will go down. He will not get a kill back. Unbreakable Will coming through for Hyilissang, making sure he can stay standing.
It's good for Matt though. Jungle support from Fnatic's bot side. There's no cross map. They're on the same side of the map, so top can play in isolation. Nisqy can push, so they're not under threat of like a Herald top or a Herald mid. So quite a calm game state for them to make that kind of play. Flashes traded from the Alistar and the Zeri.
And this is kind of what you need from Mad if they want to try and get back into this. I think it's still a little bit of a long road though. I mean, they're finding windows where they can try and play out the Carzzy, but again, I feel like once you start to get towards the next dragon that's going to come up, as you start to look towards Ripchild in a couple of minutes as well, that's where Fnatic can look to group. once more and use the fact Wunder's massive and the Xerath is big.
And the Xerath's so frustrating to play against, just so not interactive. Chasy not quite able to bring Wunder back under tower for any longer, but still very tense matchup on the top side of the map. And right now, I mean, one of the biggest points of strength is still the Kalista. Nisqy's in trouble. Fancy footwork, ticking from the Leandries. Will be able to walk away. 58 HP as it starts to regen there. So here comes Elyoya. Again, try again. Can they make the play work? Dominus now coming up. That's the immediate knockup. Want to keep this one going. Wunder in trouble now. The healing is not going to be enough. And finally, Elyoya will find a kill on the top side of the map.
Here's the cross map though. Finally, Fnatic are on the opposite side of the map when Elyoya goes for the play. It didn't happen bot, but it's happening top. They herald mid. They get some push in. Carzzy's giving up bot waves. Elyoya needs to get back down towards mid so he can cover off this bot side. No TP available for Nisqy, and Chasy's too low.
But it's got Elyoya back into the game. 3 kills now. He'll be able to go back, get his Blade of the Rune King as well for himself. And I mean, crucially, those kills and that gold had to get into Elyoya's hands, and now you got Carzzy, who didn't actually, in the grand scheme of things, lose too much on that bot lane. You only get 1 turret plate, although next one will go down in a stiff freeze, but you've only got a minute before that happens.
It's a couple minutes till Drake, but Mad Lions needs a reset. There's the gauntlet from Chasy, but I'm looking at the Blade of the Ruined Kings on this jungle AD. When
Double
that gets
spike.
picked up, that's a huge spike. Nisqy maybe building towards something like the Leandries or the Crown, we'll have to see. But Hilly's looking for a play. Noah, no flash.
Next flash in. Headbutt pull, follow up immediately from Carzzy, just trying to chunk Noah out. Stun gonna connect, knockup will still come through. Hyilissang has to be careful here, cannot afford to burn the ultimate in lane.
There's one Blade of the Ruined King. I think he's going for the gauntlet as well here. You're gonna go for the blade and then tankiness. We'll see if he goes Kraken, but I'm waiting for the Carzzy reset. I think if they can get those items before Drake, that's huge. Nisqy face checking Razork.
Razork the stun immediately gonna come in, the ult bomb, the flash to the side, the push back. Nisqy getting fancy with it, taking his time, will now slide out to safety. Elyoya in the area, and Razork potentially overstaying here. The Bel'Veth's a powerhouse as he finds one, and now Humanoid in trouble. Ulti not gonna come out. Elyoya finally will use it there, but on the bottom side, a fight breaking out as well. Carzzy continuing to step up here. Hyilissang getting just lower and lower. Nisqy, the fancy feet just do not stop.
Nisqy.
He just hasn't been touched. Nisqy, so well played. And you can see how happy he is on your screen there. Bel'Veth now, though, Elyoya starting to move down towards his bottom side. Huge amount used. Hilly has his ultimate up and available, but is so low.
Bot dive on the cards. Wunder needs to get ready to TP. We'll see if Chasy tries to stop him and chase him down on the minimap, but Noah's low. Yes, heal.
Not even scared about showing their hand. They know they're so powerful in this position. Early ult now comes out, but it's Carzzy who might be in trouble. Ignite now ticking. Knock up there immediately. Carzzy's going to fall up and find one. Trymbi needs to run for the hills. Nisqy shadowing just to make sure that no response play can come out. A clean dive from Mad
Yeah, look at
Lions.
Chasy still chasing Wunder. He just made sure that Renekton can't get bots. His job complete. And Mad Lions pull off the dive. 3rd time's the charm.
And it's actually a bit of a mistake coming through from Trymbi as he tries to make the play to get them underneath the tower with the charm. He ends up just drawing Noah out from underneath the tower. The minions were still there to tank, and it means that you actually get Hilly who's able to walk away from that without having to invest too much. So Mad Lions, these last few passages of play have been brilliant, and Fnatic are kind of getting their heads spun around a little.
Humanoid's going to get that mid tower. That's going to help the map state a little bit, but Fnatic were given a silver platter on bot side when it's like Mad butcher the dive, jungle falls behind almost a full level. At like level 6, level 7, Razork was up 1. But now after 2 repeat dives, Mad Lions have found a way back in. Elyoya has literally just ran around the map and found 3 kills with no real answer from Fnatic in terms of a grouped up macro play and getting a tower or shifting for an objective. You can see 10 seconds on the Dragon. See if there's going to be a fight around that bot side of the map, but Herald spawning in around 30 seconds to a minute.
Fnatic holding onto a gold lead for now, however. 1.8k in their favor. Haven't really had the opportunity to fight on their terms because of how well Mad have been playing the map. Mad need to keep this up. Again, they are an elimination point. They are backed into a corner. Managed to find the win in the previous game. Again, individual play coming through clutch. This time looking to make it a little bit cleaner. The early game was sloppy, but Mad already course correcting here in the mid game to make sure they have a fighting chance.
Mid-wave contest is going to come in. Look at the minimap. Everyone's sprinting at mid. They need to get this wave in both these teams so they can choose which side they play for. Hilly's getting caught though.
On the flank. Razork immediately engaging, and that's the power of the Xerath. Nisqy can't dodge it. When he's CC'd, he's already been chunked. He's already been knocked out of the fight. Wunder now getting torn to shreds by these Blade of the Rune Kings. Trymbi desperate to try to find the re-engage, but Wunder cannot find the angle. He cannot find the stun. Razork now chasing down, mounted up.
Ooh,
Ready to crash down. Elyoya trying to survive the best that he can. Dash out of safety. He's got 2 more. Dash back into the waiting arms of the team. And now Noah, the potential to clean up is massive. Charlie Zeri just takes over. Carzzy denying one kill. The Kalista all coming out. Carzzy knows that he has to turn this one, and Humanoid is overextended. Trymbi can't find the angle.
It's Carzzy and Nisqy.
Carzzy and Nisqy versus the world. The Azir making it work. Mad Lions against all odds again. Holding on. The spear starting to stack. But a single misstep cost them so much. It is Nisqy in Montpellier. Oh, putain, this man is a god.
What the hell is going on? 4 kills apiece for both sides. Razork gets out, Nisqy TP's back in. It's an absolute bloodbath. Mad Lions getting chased down, but it's the carries that stand their ground.
It's not punch number 1 you need to be worried about with Mad Lions. It's punch number 2. Hyilissang plays this beautifully. Watch Trymbi. As Trymbi tries to go in for the CC, he gets the pulverize, which allows Nisqy to escape again with a fancy feat stepping away from Humanoid. On the top side, you've got Carzzy, who's doing so much work and just being able to get a ton of damage off with Elyoya. As Carzzy is starting to back away, because Hilly had interrupted that engage, you get the reset from Nisqy, who's able to TP back in. Carzzy's doing a fantastic job of fighting back here, and this is where it looks disastrously. But watch your Carzzy, as he comes forward here, steps 1 skill shot, manages to dodge away, gets the kill here, flashes away after that second, but here we go.
Herald now taken down by the side of Mad Lions in the meantime. Hyilissang forced to pop the ult early, immediately trying to respond. Nisqy has still been charmed up and will be able to dash out of safety. Carzzy now going to be in trouble. Humanoid immediately falls with the stun. CC layered perfectly. Carzzy running out of options. Elyoya running for the hills. Fnatic find a play and respond.
There's fights all over the place, but it's Fnatic winning both of them. Nisqy has to save Hilly. Carzzy has no peel. No one's around. Reset comes through from Elyoya. He's gone for Evan Shroud on this Bel'Veth. Didn't get nerfed on this patch. It's more of like a Yone supported build with things like the Blade of the Ruined King. We'll see how much that can do in terms of work for these fights, but top tier 1's going to fall. Dragon's going to fall. Fnatic picking up these objectives. 2,000 gold lead for them.
A tense game 4 here. 11-11 the kill score. You already highlighted the gold.
Wunder.
The Drake now going to be picked up. Wunder going to be in trouble. One dash coming through. Now needs to try to find a way into safety, but surely he will just fall. Unceremonious on the top side. Just a little overeager to push, it would seem.
It's those kind of picks that then put the ball in your court. Now Mad Lions can push out top and get top tier 1, right? So this game is going to be so back and forth, again, similar to the last 3 games where it's just 40 kills a game. We're already upwards of 23 at 18 minutes.
But Mad Lions are just playing so well around the map. It's like, look, we're giving up a Cloud Dragon, cool, but we get the pick. Now we're going to get top turret as well. Elyoya coming back out of the map. Noah needs to be very careful.
Noah, Hyilissang finds the angle, waiting for the stun to now come through. The empowered auto attack, just standing still. He doesn't even need the Marshall points. The Kalista stands and delivers.
That side of the map does not belong to Fnatic, and Mad Lions make Noah very well aware of it. Nisqy gonna get the top tower, they're gonna get the blue buff. Mad Lions are fighting every step of the way.
This is such a slugfest, isn't it? It's just such a brawl across the entire map. Every single player has a window to all in it every single time, it feels like. So everyone's on their toes. Noah gets caught out there. Really nice engage from Hilly. But I guess we're just waiting for the next one. Now Mad Lions have swung the gold lead. I felt like it was only 30 seconds ago when I said Fnatic get top tower and Drake and they're 2k gold up. Now it's Mad Lions that are ahead with that shutdown onto Carzzy.
But Noah should never be here. You know that the top side of the map is going to be that cross map. You know the Mad Lions are looking for that top tower. And he gets caught out, thinks he's safe with the dash over the wall, but little does he know there's a cow waiting in the brush to make his day very, very sad.
Big spikes on the horizon for Mad, the Rabadons for Nisqy, the Rage Blade for Carzzy. If those two can get completed, there's the Rage Blade. If they can get the Rabadons on this Azir, oh boy, they're going to take every single fight. And no Dragon for the next 3 minutes, only one apiece though. It's mid-wave contest central, here it comes. Humanoid stepping up to try and get the wave. Look at Hilly. Look at where Hilly is. On the left side, Hilly can find Humanoid here. Does Humanoid react? Can Hilly land the Q flash? It's a mind game between the Xerath and the Alistar.
Flash in, immediately gets the taxi under the Rakan. The knockup follows through. The charm still ticking though. Trymbi will make it out to safety. He's burning, he's ticking, he's trying desperately to survive, but he will fall in the end. Mad Lions, the onslaught now coming down the mid lane. They are not done yet. Razork desperate to turn, but there's no more fuel left in the tank, and Noah can do it all, and he cannot. Razork still standing. Wunder buying a bit more time. They need to delete the wave. Right in the arcane coming through, raining down fire. Buying space.
They'll have to back away.
Carzzy!
Won't be enough.
Oh, Carzzy!
Will it be enough?
The Leanderies!
Burning!
Is he going to fall?
Rebel field. Oh.
Wow.
Just about, but Mad Lions, they get away with it. They get the kills, they get the mid tower, and slowly but surely they're getting control of this game.
It's a game of inches. If Carzzy dies to that Leanderies, I think Fnatic can rush Nash, you know?
That's a centimeter. That's a millimeter. That's 16 HP.
That is
unreal.
Walked
away with.
Mad Lions, I'm surprised they dove. But you know what? I'm not going to question it anymore. Just keep going. Just keep fighting. Hilly, it's a mind game there. Humanoid, does he flash the WQ combo? Because if he does, Hilly can then Q flash to follow up, so nice mind game there. Trymbi falls, but I thought here Mad would get mid tower and go Nash, but no, they're Kalista ulting, they're diving the Xerath. They get re-engaged on by the Razork, and a lot of damage comes down from Noah, and then Humanoid tries to snipe them down. Nisqy extremely low. If Humanoid doesn't chunk them out here, I think Mad have an easy Baron.
And lack of Wunder there, really coming back to hurt Fnatic. Mad very quickly collapsing onto that mid lane and doing a really good job of it. You're going to get the Rift Herald on bot side as maybe a potential Baron here.
Yeah, they know Herald bot and just group mid. Fnatic can't match that because if they do look at Humanoid, if they go down there, then they're just going to rush Nash Mad Lions. They have Kalista to secure. It's going to be mid-wave contest again. When's the next fight?
Elyoya looking for a flank. Humanoid poke starting to hurt. They have to be careful about sticking around for too long. Elyoya off to the side, so far unspotted, looking for an angle onto the back side of the map. Hyilissang splitting the fight for now. Elyoya goes in, he finds Humanoid, immediately dashes out, gets the ulti cooldown.
That's big. They can look for Baron here now. Mad Lions can ignore mid-wave. Herald's pushing in. Go start Nash. They lost a lot of engage. It's on Trymbi to find the backline with this Rakan.
It's so tough, too, because when Elyoya goes in there, you have to feel like he's immediately going to follow up and full commit to the fight, because Mad Lions have been playing like total psychos, but this time he backs off. He tempers the aggression. TP now coming in.
They can finish this.
Hex Flash.
They can burst at 2K.
Getting lower and lower.
With Kalista.
As long as they burst at 2K, there's no way that this should be able to be stolen. It should be impossible. They managed to secure it. It's close, but they make it work. Now the Herald will crash on the bottom side as the fight breaks out. Wunder trying to buy a bit more space. 4 members of Fnatic.
Hilly.
Slowly but surely backing away, and Hilly once again will go in right into the back line. But Noah now has to be the focus. Noah holding on, but Chasy says not today. Mad Lions find the angle. Shelly continues to rampage down the bottom side, and Mad Lions might just look to end it here.
The Croc has to go back to the river as the Mad Lions roar into existence here. Running down the mid. Hilly, I don't think he'd be able to find him. Wunder will get back, but I don't know if you can try and defend this.
I don't think you can end though. 3 seconds on Razork, 5 on Trymbi. I think it's double inhibitor, reset play for top. But Mad Lions have just broken the game wide open. What an engage from Hyilissang there. Fnatic kind of overstacking a bit. As much as Hyilissang landed a massive knock-up, I think they kind of walked into that one. But man, oh man, Elyoya on the flank. Razork panicked. He instantly pulled the trigger on the Magnet Storm, and once that's down, so much of your engage is gone. They pull the trigger, they secure the smite, they win the fight.
You said in 2021 it was 3 5-game series that Fnatic had to go through.
Yeah.
And it looks like right now we might be getting the exact same, as this fight was absolutely incredible.
It really was. It starts with Razork attempting the steal and falling to Elyoya. It's a 4v5, Fnatic have to disengage. But it's here, the Kalista ult comes in. Nice sidestep there. Carzzy didn't get hit by the E. Onto Humanoid. No flash. They tried to peel, but that's a triple knockup, right? You're walking into that trying to stop the Xerath from dying, but he does end up falling. 2 carries are down. Not enough pressure from the creeps, and it's too early in the game to fully end it. But Nisqy just, I think he looked at Hyilissang there and he was like, how did he do it again? You know, this man's engages. This Alistar 1-2, he just blinded it, you know? Yeah. Game 3, it worked. Match point still, pick it again. Game 5, Fnatic, are you going to bend that Alistar?
But in every world, this shouldn't have worked. Mad Lions were behind. Fnatic had done everything correctly, but Mad just find these tiny little moments where they can pull it back. And credit to Elyoya, like, this was not the best of starts, but now 6-2-5 on the Bel'Veth as well. Getting that control, keeping the push now on bot side as the rest of his team start to group onto the top lane. They don't even care about Dragon. They know there's blood in the water.
We thought through the series, Mad would just fix their mistakes, fix their communication, and just stop dying on sides. You know what they did? They just fought more. And that seems to fix it. Just go even deeper into the fights and just keep going. Look at Hyilissang, just going to combo Razork. See if that turned into a fight.
Kicking things off right in the arcane to try to poke Nisqy out of the fight, taking his time to lay those one down. 1, 2 out of 3 connecting, 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, and now trying to isolate and lock down the enemy mid laner. Mercurial dot buys Carzzy a bit more time, trying to stay standing in this one. He's untouched on the backside. The Kalista once again taking over in the fight as Elyoya stares Humanoid in the face and says, not today. Mad Lions will take us to a game 5. Mad Lions will give us silver scrapes, and Fnatic will face one final match for a chance in the finals.
We thought the Mad were gone. We thought that they were done, but they were just sleeping, and Fnatic just realized what it's been like to be bitten by the Mad Lions.
An animal is most dangerous when it's cornered and wounded. 2-0 down, Mad Lions. They've brought us to game 5. Unreal. And I think it's all off the back of the momentum. Carzzy pentakill. Engages from Hyilissang are sick. Just keep going, double down, go for the Kalista Alistar again. Engage again, fight again. The Xerath couldn't really keep up. You know, Humanoid's job in those fights was to try and execute someone at the end when the bloodbath, but it's just been over already. Try and pick off these kills, slow them down, but Yeah, Mad Lions are just playing the game so damn fast right now that you have no idea what they're doing. Bel'Veth's giving up her red buff level 3 to dive bot. It didn't work. What's she doing 6 minutes later? She's diving in again. And then again 2 minutes later. And you can never really keep track of what Mad Lions' plans are because there's so many plans going on at the same time.
Mad Lions, when the pressure is on, when they believe in themselves, as corny as that sounds, they play so damn well. And it's risky, and it's arguably not great play, but when you make it work, who can look at it and say, that's not enough?
I've never seen so much pace in games in my life.
No.
Like, these 4 games were non-stop. We had about 30 seconds in between every single fight. And even then, it felt like we didn't have time to watch replays, look back, try and reflect on what's going on, because we were just lost in the chaos.
And whatever plans you have when a game is that fast fall away if not every single player understands their role in the game. And Dagda, I would love to hear more from you. The desk is standing by to talk more about that insane Game 4 Silver Scrapes, baby. It's going to be a banger.
Let's get it. I think it's Montpellier. It's the arena. We had them yesterday. We're getting them today. Or we're getting them tomorrow, hopefully. But first, we got to tie this one up in a nice little bow. And if any of the 4 games, if they were any indication to what we may expect from that 5th game, I'm ready. I am so ready.
At the beginning of the day, we were so excited about the potential of what these teams could show us. And after the dominant 2-0 from Fnatic, I truly believe that they had cracked the code, they had a plan, that there was no way that Mad could bounce back. But it was Yamato himself that said, game 1-2, right off some Mad, that's usual. And then they'd find a way to bounce back, and they've gone and done it. They've gone and bloody done it. This team is playing phenomenally. We have 2 incredible teams going back and forth, and I just hope that Game 5 delivers.
And look, let's be honest. Carzzy and Hyilissang just got tired of losing. Like, they're done with that shit. They are unleashed right now. Carzzy, after the pentakill, goes absolutely Super Saiyan. Then you also have Hyillissang's Alistar being nuts here. Like, again, they're being pushed on the back foot throughout this fight, but they find an angle to come around. Carzzy sees Humanoid outside of the range of his teammates and then can kite for days.
It's writes itself, you know. Kalista, Alistar is a combo that everybody remembers when we get to see it in action like this. For the longest time it was forgotten, and they seem to have found the juju that makes it work. And you have to think from Fnatic's side, there's no way in hell they're gonna let Carzzy play this champion again together with the Alistar combination.
Yes, and this is where it comes full circle, because in the beginning they had some picks that you didn't like from the bot lane, but now they're thinking, oh no, what if Carzzy is gonna carry on Vars? Oh no, what if Carzzy is gonna carry on, I can't even remember what it was, in game
The Kalista? Game 1, okay.
So like,
The
wow.
Aphelios.
Yeah, the
There you
Aphelios,
go.
indeed. And that's why I think the ADs are also in our picks to watch for the series so far. So it's hard, but can we break it outside of Carzzy in terms of, let's say, what went wrong for Fnatic this game?
I think the main thing for me, right, is just that the pacing of the game is so much more different. Because I think initially, right, I felt like Fnatic was so much more aware of the conditions that need to be met in the game for them to actually thrive. And then when Mad Lions tried to claw it back, they were always waiting for things to actually connect before action occurred. But now we see a situation where, they're doing Drake, and all of a sudden Wunder is getting caught on side. That's uncharacteristic. This lack of discipline where they're forcing with Rell and Xerath onto an Azir, this is kind of awkward. Why are they rushing when they should be dragging? They need to take it much slower.
Not your tempo.
Not anyone's tempo. That's Mad Lions' tempo.
My take on this is, so I used the stat earlier, but after the first 2 games, Hyilissang was 0 and 17. Like, the man was just getting caught out. And I think that this all comes back to something that Mac told us in an interview at the beginning of the season finals, which is very much that him and Elyoya need to be on the same page for this team to function. In games 1 and 2, they weren't. You could clearly see that Hyilly wanted to make stuff happen, but he just couldn't. On the Thresh, on the Braum, he wasn't capable of it. But his Alistar is the pick. It has been a game changer for him as a player, because not only can he engage, Carzzy, one of the most consistent elements of this Mad Lions squad, says, enough of that, I can reel you back in, and then they can go for round 2. And it feels like that this is the perfect combo for this bot lane.
Yeah, I feel like you have to break up that combination of picks, because, yeah, it gives you so many options, the survivability of Hyilly, but also just the way our games are being played. It's full-on chaos map saves throughout, like kills happening in top lane. Immediately someone is picked inside mid. I think that this type of game is exactly Hyilissang's element. That is where he thrives, whether it's on the Mad Lions of today or it's on the Fnatic of yesteryears playing against G2. Those teams would always have these games in best of 5 wars, back and forth, and it was always Hilly that could find those angles.
And then we also have to bring it back to the jungle, right? Ivan, Razork, he was so effective on the Talia. He played the Karthus game, it didn't really pan out. This time around, he was playing the Rell. You know, you see this evolution. The first initial moment with the Ivan, now it's banned. Talia, now it's banned. And now Karthus got locked in, it didn't pan out. It seems like Elyoya is finding that confidence again that made him into an LEC champion, the Bel'Veth. We all remember the Elyoya Bel'Veth, and he brought it into this game. I didn't know Bel'Veth didn't need to farm. It just goes dives, kills, left and right. I didn't know this was a variant of Bel'Veth.
I will say that Caedrel summed it up beautifully in the cast where he was talking about how they made a Hail Mary play at level 3. That dive in the bot lane was such a massive gamble. We all thought that it was disaster, yet they just kept fighting their way through it. They kept finding these picks, and the synergy problems that they had in game 1 and 2 seem to be gone, and now it's up to Fnatic to kind of reset themselves and find a way back. Oh yeah, this is exactly the play. This was such a massive gamble because the top side of the map was being completely taken over by Razork. If they didn't make this play work, it could have spelt disaster for Mad Lions. And like this was going horrendously for Carzzy. Like
Minion block.
It was truly a situation where I thought that this was doom and gloom.
So I don't want to diminish the team's actions, but I'm hearing coin flip. And I gotta be completely honest, I also kind of felt it in the first couple of games. Fnatic just always had heads. Like, they always had what they picked and it always worked out. But I feel like that's going too far because then I'm taking away all of the decisions that these teams are making. But it's a good example, right, this dive?
I see where you're coming from, right? Because I think from a macro perspective, there is a little bit of that where the teams, because there's so much happening, are putting the blinders on and not being aware of when we're getting a win on some other place of the map, I need to be careful now. Otherwise, they're going to jump on me and we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Where I think we are seeing excellence is in, pardon the little creep block, like the micro of certain players, right? Carzzy kiting out in the team fights, Hyilissang's angles where he could find engages. I think that's where they're absolutely excelling. It's in the minutia of these skirmishes and of these team fights where it's going ballistic.
What, his voice?
No, minutia.
Minutia, yeah.
I've never heard anyone naturally bring that into conversation.
Yeah, that's actually, I'm jelly.
I mean, it's been a
but look at
bloodbath.
this.
Yeah, look at the average kills that we're getting per game. Honestly, in my opinion, this whole series is all about bot lane. Games 1 and 2, he got the Xayah. Yamato, you were all in on about how you can't afford to give this man this champion. They start taking it away from him. What happens with the Karthus? In game 3, he doesn't have bot prio anymore. He's not getting the same control that he is getting from the 2v2. In game 4, the Zeri, they don't play through bot anymore. It's actually Mad Lions playing through their bot side of the map with the Kalista Alistar. So I think it's all about getting bot lane a winning matchup, and that is what will determine the series.
All right, when we look at Fnatic selecting blue side for the last game, and I want to bring back predictions. You can't play because you had a 3-1, but you had a 3-2 for the Mad Lions, and you had a 3-2 for Fnatic, and I think this is an excellent setup to tell me why your prediction is going to come true. You can start.
Who's you?
Vedius. I was looking at you. I was making eye contact.
I actually thought you were looking. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I think that the bot lane of Fnatic can perform better. Carzzy is terrifying me right now, but I am going to continue with my faith in Fnatic. All they got to do is get that winning 2v2, and I think Fnatic will come out on top.
I think Mad Lions as a team, I think they're very momentum-based. I think in the chaos, they thrive, and with everything going on, playing on the big stage, there's a lot of it. I think the fact that Fnatic went back on blue, I think this makes me think that we're going to see another tank jungle for Ivan, and I think this is where, of course, Mad Lions will thrive, and Elyoya has found his juju.
Look, this is a battle of wills. This is Razork and this is Carzzy playing to the absolute limits. I want to see mages in the jungle. Razork, none of that tank nonsense. Absolutely fight it out against Carzzy.
Yes, your voice. Take care of it as they take care of the game, because it all is coming down to this. We're going to Silver Scrapes once again here in Montpellier. Which team will lock their LEC Grand Final spot tomorrow? Don't dare go anywhere, and let's dance the Silver Scrape.
make one more penta, I will tweet that you're the best AD carry to ever exist in the Rift, and Supa is a peasant compared to you. Okay?
Carzzy,
Whoa, Carzzy!
going out, and Carzzy.
Can you get QE? Oh, Carzzy!
No!
Yes! Noobs.
Nice. Good job, guys.
We play this. I'm with you, DJ.
No flash is all, I think.
Yeah, no flash all.
It's a montage, guys. Play slow.
No flash Zeri.
And jungle 2.
Nice!
Oh, you do it. Yeah, you f***ing do it. You f***ing do it. No flash.
Good job.
Hey, yeah, I need a break though. That
Yeah.
was some. Oh,
Hi, Ben.
Kevin was looking for you.
Oh, now?
In
Okay.
the green room, yeah.
Okay, I'll go now.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Get ready, summoners. League of Legends is now on Displate. All your favorite champions on officially licensed metal posters. Stunning details, easy setup, more durable than Malphite. Join 3.2 million satisfied customers and fill your room with arcane energy. Order now at Displate.com.